cackling in the void. Kaylee is a loser.
I am Kaylee, and I think Ashley's the bigger loser.
I'm Ashley, and I think Haley's a bigger loser.
Let's see if the void echoes back today with how big of a loser Ashley is.
And Haley is.
Okay.
Now we'll be back to our, in quotes, serious selves, apparently. Serious.
I agree. Serious. Okay. Today we will be discussing all right, besides our major crackhead energy that we both have, Ashley, would you like to start us off?
Sure. So, welcome back to the podcast. We technically have finished Fourth Wing, but now we're discussing the 3 bonus chapters that are out for Xaden's point of view, and they are chapters 9, 16, and 27.
Yay! Xaden's
Look at us go.
POVs.
Yes, they are Xaden's POVs. Good job, Kaylee.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for saying I did a good job.
You did such a good job.
Wow. So
and
in
just
order...
a forewarning for those that have not finished the book and care about Fourth Wing Book 1 spoilers, we will be discussing spoilers of Fourth Wing. We're not talking about spoilers of Iron Flame or Onyx Storm, but be warned of Fourth Wing spoilers ahead.
Yes, because we would like to discuss both chapters in tandem, so Xaden POV as well as revisiting the chapters that we had previously discussed from Violet's point of view during that time.
Yeah, and also how, there's things in these Xaden chapters that tie into things at the end of the book that, do have spoilers, so there was your warning. Continue at your own choice. I'm smart, it's okay.
You're very smart. That was very good.
Thank you,
So what
thank
chapter
you.
are we discussing first?
We're starting with Xaden chapter 9. I figured we can go in order.
I think that's great. So Xaden chapter 9 is the first time they're sparring on the map.
Yeah. And if we remember back at Violet's point of view of this, she's livid at him, like she's so mad. And she's been poisoning all of her fucking
opponents.
Thank you. And she's been poisoning all of her opponents. And, she ended up poisoning one of her opponents to the point where they couldn't spar with her. And so Xaden's just like, yeah, I'll get on the mat. And now we get to see his point of view from that fight, which is very fun. Would you like to start us off, Kaylee?
Yeah, I think we might as well start off with he is taunting her, but at the same time, it's very interesting to see from his perspective because this man really is like putty. Like they like have barely like in chapter 9 they haven't even kissed yet. Correct? Right?
Yeah,
that's correct.
No. They kiss in chapter 22 for the first time.
Yeah, so they haven't kissed in chapter 9 yet.
No.
And he is already like, she's really hot, but also I need to keep my distance. But no, I like her, but oh no, I'm so dark and brooding. Oh no. Broody shadow boy. Oh no.
But I do also think it's really funny because this is the first time that, not that they haven't interacted before this, but it's like the first big interaction we have. I know we saw them under the tree at this point. But
Ooh, under the tree.
ooh, when they're conspiring and stuff. And I did see this theory, because we could talk about this stuff now. I saw this theory that was Xaden was hiding her in the shadows. Like, there wasn't shadows because there were shadows. It was Xaden hiding her in the trees because he didn't want her to get caught with the other people.
Hmm.
Well, you digest that. Chapter 9. The
Yeah, we're gonna need to circle back to that. We'll have a discussion about that.
Okay. So then in chapter 9, like, this is their first interaction, and it's fun to see his
I mean, I
perspective.
guess.
Because, like
Sorry, I
Katie
was
said,
thinking about the other thing.
yes, continue thinking about the other thing. I'll be back to you in a second.
I will be silent.
Yeah. So then it's interesting because it's the first time that we see Xaden. Like, obviously we see him in his head because it's the first chapter in his head besides for the finale. But he very much is, God, like, why is she so hot to me? Like, why don't I want to hurt her? God, stop. Don't smell her hair, you jackass. Like, he's so angry at himself for, like, liking Violet. And I think it's really funny just how I think it was written very well in the, oh, wow, she smells so good. Stop smelling her, you jackass. Like, his inner thoughts just going, I thought were very well done.
I also agree. And I kind of like that Rebecca Yarros describes smell. Like, specifically, you know how Xaden smells like mint?
Mm-hmm.
Openly in this chapter, they say that Violet smells like citrus.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that is, like, I think that that's so fun that she names the smell that they're smelling to get you to connect with those characters more. And I also like mint and citrus together. It's very nice. It's a very
It is
nice,
very nice.
calming smell.
I agree.
So maybe I am a Xaden and Violet girly.
Purely for their smells?
Yeah, just for the scent combination, but only that, because nothing else.
I mean, that is a valid reason.
I
And
also
what were your
think
thoughts
that
on the tree thing?
oh. Yes. Those were good points because she does mention in the chapter very vividly that the shadows were very thick that night.
Mm-hmm.
But the shadows were very thick even throughout the hall. So when she like snuck out of her room, the shadows were already thick then, not just in the courtyard. So that's the other thing that I'm like, if she's describing the shadows the same way that she's describing the shadows as if she was still like leaving the room that she came out of, because and then like to get into the courtyard, I don't know. But as well as in that chapter when he like dismisses everybody and notices her, she openly says that a wall of shadows rushed her. Like, it became immediately darker.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like she felt like the palpable change from his signet. And so it do you see what I'm going with this?
Yes, I do. Yes.
I don't know. Interesting theory, but I'm not quite for sure if it lines up in my mind. How do you feel about it? Do you think?
I think I'd have to reread the chapter to confirm nor deny.
Mm-hmm.
But I could really see it going either way, but you do make a good point about, like, oh, like, the shadows were, dark in both places, but she could tell the difference between the signet shadows versus the regular shadows.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think I'd have
But
to reread the
also,
chapter to confirm. But I did think it was an interesting theory, and I wanted to bring it up.
I do think that it's a great theory because we'll see it later in the chapters that we actually discussed now that I'll bring the point back up later. In chapter 16, No, it's in chapter 27, the ending chapter, that I'll bring it up again because it does come up in that chapter.
Okay. I'm intrigued. I'm ready for it. So, back to, like Kaylee said, the chapters that we're supposed to be talking about.
Which is chapter 9.
Yes. So they have their first, this is their first sparring match, like we've said probably 15 times by now. And Zayden's like, what am I doing here? Like, why did I volunteer for this? And then he does kind of come to realize, he's like, oh, I need to teach her how to do this. She doesn't know what she's doing. And she's a target. She's a Sorrengail. Like, she needs to know what she's doing. And he does openly admit, he's like, I could kill her. And nobody would bat an eye. Because, yes, she's under my chain of command, but I'm not in her squad.
But not only that is, I really like how he goes into depth why he needs to teach her. I like how he openly is like, why is she using these moves that are moves only a 6'2", 50-pound heavier person should be using? She needs to be using a fighting style that's going to suit her body. And not only that is, why is she using these daggers that are too long for her hands, that are too don't fit comfortably with her body and the style that she needs to be fighting in to stay alive. She's fighting like a 6'2" man, and she unfortunately is a 5-0 little lady. But I guess what I should say is she's a 5'0" really big boy. Ooh, she a big boy. Yeah.
I agree.
Because I think that if Violet heard us referring to her as a 5-0 little lady, she'd be upset about it. So she's a 5'0" really big boy.
Yes. I mean, she does like. I really don't like how who's it, Professor Carr and them just are like calling her like, oh, like you're so fragile, little
frail.
I'm like, ew, stop. Yeah, frail. I'm like, stop it. You need to stop. But Zayden does mention, he's like, wow, Violet is like pissed. She is mad.
And I like how that kind of shows in her fighting style, where she does get a little bit more reckless and a little bit more like daring, especially when he openly is like, oh, if she was just a little bit taller and had a little bit more weight, that hit would have landed. But because she's not, fighting with her body type and she's just winging it. Haha, pun intended.
Winging it? How funny. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha.
So because of that, I just think that it's nice to see him be like, oh, these are the reasons why, not just, oh, I need to keep her alive because of Taryn. I need to keep her alive because of Sigale. I need to just keep her alive, in general. So I find that a little bit more heartwarming to see it from his perspective, because obviously we only see it from Violet's perspective, and Violet is mad and upset that she's not able to pull off these moves. B, has the mindset of she is inferior. Yeah. Sorry, that was hard to pronounce for a second. I was like, I know. I was like, sorry, that was hard to pronounce for a second. And then I blanked on my last point. That word was so hard to say.
I get it. Don't worry. Sorry. But yes, I do agree. And I also like how they both, without even talking about it, realize that this is a lesson just between them. They're whispering pretty much the entire time. Unless they're trying to get attentions of other people. Like how Zayden keeps throwing daggers to... Because he's disarming her. And he keeps throwing daggers to Dane. At Atos. And just him kind of going, wow, he's really mad too. Like, look at him. He looks like he's about to come punch me.
I kind of like that one of the things that make Xaden the most happy is bothering Dane. Like, I love that Xaden is a bear, number one, but he is just like poking Dane like he's not a bear and just loves doing it.
Mhm.
Really loves doing it. Uh it it also is kind of funny how she writes it because you can kind of hear how much pleasure he's taking from
Oh, absolutely.
this.
Yeah. And, she, like, throws daggers at him, and he's like, "I've seen that already. Do something new." And he's really trying to teach her, like, you can't do the same trick over and over. Like, you need to learn new things. And he does pin her down on the mat, as we saw in her chapter. And,
Mm.
she's really into it. And now he's really into it. He's
Ooh.
like, "Ooh, I hope she doesn't do anything because all of my self-control is gone." Like, I forgot everybody
Mhm.
else was in this room. And he also openly states in that part, because he's showing her, like, "Hey," and guides her hand. Like, "You could have stabbed here. Stab here. This is where, armor. There's, like, weakness in the armor, like, down by the hips. Go for the kidneys. Like, why are you going for a shot that you're too small to get? Like, you can't reach that." And
Mhm.
he openly admits, he's like, "I haven't been this vulnerable with somebody since I first walked across the parapet. Like, why am I?" And but also the inner turmoil of it, of why am
Mhm.
I doing this with her? Like, what is so different about her? Why am I doing this? I haven't done this in 3 years.
I also like how he uses training to build intimacy with her in a way. I find that
Hmm.
to be a very interesting point because it really can be because it builds that communication between each other and does present different vulnerabilities as well. But I
Hmm.
think that it's interesting because she is taking this as an intimate moment in more of a sexual direction, but he is taking it more of like of an intimate moment on like a personal level.
Hmm.
Like he is openly saying he is showing more vulnerability than he has in the last 3 years to like this one person in a very not super in their world, which is not considered a sexual moment, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because men and women fight on the mat all the time, and it's not necessarily considered, well, it's never considered a sexual moment, if that makes sense.
Hmm. And it is really interesting that I do agree, and he does seem to be the more romantic of the two, if that makes sense. Like, taking those, like, more, like, intimate moments that she's taking more sexually, and he's taking it more, like, personal, like you said, or, like, more romantically than sexually. Even though, yes, obviously, he's like, "Wow,
Mhm.
her legs are, like, clenched around mine, and mm-mm, I,
Mhm.
like, he does say, it's like, "Oh, like, I need to remove myself because I want to go take her to a closet, but we're not gonna do that right now. We are having this moment."
I think I don't know if Ashley's gonna approve of me saying it here, but we'll see it more in the last chapter that we discuss, but I think I can say it. I think the reason why Violet is taking this as um more of sexual intimacy than personal intimacy is because she had more stable parents that were able to model what love really looked like for her and was shown love her whole life. Where Xaden is a hopeless romantic because he's always chased love, and love has never really found him back except for within Sigale and that bond that him and Sigale have.
Yeah, and I mean, they do say that in... I do agree. Wow, that's... Shut up. But...
Sorry. I didn't want to say it, but I was like, it's right here, and I just feel
No, you had to
even
say
throughout
it.
these
Absolutely.
chapters, you can see that he's the pining after her, the respectful distance, he is smirking and being sarcastic, but he's very much in control about where he stands with her and where he knows that she is going to stand with him.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that he is how do I put this? I don't think that he ever wants to or is trying to ever push her into this romance.
Yeah.
But that's what a hopeless romantic does. They wait and they hold everything inside.
Are you okay?
Yes, I laugh. And I'm sure Ashley knows why I laugh when I call him a hopeless romantic.
I do. Almost like we're best friends or something.
I know, it's crazy.
I know.
But as a hopeless romantic myself, I recognize the what would happen if I broke this friendship and I continue to pine after this person? Or you just hold it inside and it's okay.
Yeah.
That's what you normally do. You just hold it inside, it's okay, you'll get over it eventually.
Yeah. But you do see that part in, in when they do fuck. You do see it in, like, him kind of going, like, you don't want this. Like, why are we doing this? Like, you don't want
Mhm.
it. And he still is like, like,
Absolutely.
there's no way you would love me. No, I don't believe it. Stop it.
Mhm.
Go away. I'm like, sorry. And also we see it in when she's, like, starting to ask him all those questions and stuff, and she's talking with Tara, and he's like, oh, he doesn't care for me, he just wants to keep me alive, and Taryn's like, there's no difference for him. And she's like, oh no, there's a difference between caring for someone and wanting to keep them alive, and Taryn's like, no, there's not. Like, you see it in many different aspects of the book, so I'm glad you brought up that point. Good job, Kaylee.
Yeah, I mean, also that line, I'm pretty sure she was interpreting Taryn's words as a very cut and dry type of situation of like, oh no, because it's different to me, what keeping somebody alive and caring for somebody is very, very different for her. I don't think that she's considering the fact that that's not the case for him, and the fact that he already cared about her, which is why he wanted to keep her alive anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. But speaking of the dragons, we need to talk about Sigale.
I love her.
She's so good.
I think that Sigale is a sassy queen, and I love the fact that they really balance each other out. That Xaden and Sigale really balance each other out, and as well as I think Violet and Taryn in turn balance each other out.
I agree. And she's so fun.
Sorry, I was gonna circle back to the under the tree point.
Oh, okay, continue.
Sorry. Maybe she wouldn't have noticed because she wasn't bonded to Taryn at that point, was she?
Mm-mm. Hmm.
So maybe she didn't notice? But also, I don't know. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it after. I don't know why that point just hopped into my head, but I think because we were talking about dragons and threshing and things like that. Because chapter 16 is actually when threshing happens. I also love Sigale, and I think that she brings so much to me, sassiness, sarcasm, witty banter that we need in the chapter. Very similarly to Taryn, but also
Yeah.
different.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. And it is fun to see another dragon and like how they interact because, we've been with Violet and Taryn this entire time and Adarna. And
Mhm.
so it's kind of fun to see, like, oh, this is how other dragons interact with their riders. Oh, it's similar in this way, different in this way. So that's really, really
Mhm.
fun. And, chapter 16 is where, Violet just bonded Taryn, and now it literally starts with Dane Atos. I went to a British accent there instead of a. Anyway, Dane, like, going after Violet and being like, he manipulated threshing. Actually.
God.
But, he just wants to keep her safe.
I love that Zayden's response to that is immediately, I can't believe Dane is whining like like the little infantry soldier he should have been.
Oh, I know. It's so funny. And it's also,
Loved the
I just
dig.
realized this, like, in my last listen / read, whatever. In the first at least 2 chapters, so 9 and 16, Xaden really, like, everybody's in a last name to him, even Violet. Like,
Mhm,
like,
mhm.
Atos asked Sorengale. Like, he.
I was also gonna point that out when we got into the next chapter because I did not know some of those last names, or the last names were definitely mentioned before, but in my mind I was like only referring to them as first names because that's what Violet refers to them as.
Yeah. So it's really interesting the difference. Like, it's a small difference, but it is a significant difference between them. It's like, oh, like, he really does think of them so formally.
Maybe it could be the way that he was raised as well as being in the quadrant for longer.
Yeah. Yeah. And, at this point, Xaden does know, obviously, that Dane is a memory reader, and he's like, I need my mental shields. And he's just listening to Violet, or, like, defend Dane, which, obviously, because they're just childhood friends and clearly soulmates, like, they need to be together. I love them so much. And Dane is he just wants to keep her safe. Anyway.
I also like
And
that Xaden is like, come on, Violet, just give me a reason to smack the fucking shit out of him. Like,
I know. He's like,
just
please,
one
just give me
little
one reason,
thing.
I'll punch him in the face.
Like, easy. No money
Yeah.
required.
Yeah. And this is also more when he's, like, audibly in his head. Kind of,
Mhm.
he keeps his eyes locked on Dane and Officer Sorengale's wide hazel eyes and the scrapes that mar her skin, and I definitely don't let my attention wander down those tight curves. Dash. Fuck, she's a distraction and I can't afford it. He's so. And, like, just so much like, nope, nope, but fuck, she's hot. And, then we do get the line, well, the fuck aware. And he is like, hey, I need to keep my, like, right before he's like, I need to keep my control. Everything is fine.
Mhm.
I'll just get out of this situation. And then he does snap. It's like, well, the fuck aware. And he goes, shit, so much for only slipping. My control just evaporated. And I do really also love how, he does kind of bring Sigale into it. He's like, well, you're asking the wrong question. You're wondering if Sigale saw it. And Sigale just goes, you did not bring me into this nonsense.
I like that Zayden's rebuttal to that is, well, it's not me that got soft over little things.
Yeah, it's like, I'm
That
not the one that got soft over a little dragon.
And that's the thing. I also love that Zayden can have that mm, banter with Sigale,
Because he
and it
goes,
be very much a fun little quippy moment.
yeah. And because he does go, you sure as hell dragged me into it, since when do you get all smushy over a smaller dragon? But then he just goes, not that this golden one isn't cute, but cute gets you killed here. And then Sigale just goes, since when do you get emotional over a human woman? I love her so much.
I think that's
So much.
always
Eh,
so interesting when Sigale just openly calls him on his shit
Oh,
when
I
he's like,
know.
I like her, but I don't like her, but I like her, but I don't like her. And Sigale's like, so do you like her? That's cool. Do you think we could stay a little bit more focused now that we acknowledge that fact? Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. Yes. And this goes into that conversation where he's challenging Dane and is like, "Well, would you have protected her? Like, would you have taken that step? Would you have
Mhm.
done that?" And seeing it from Zayden's perspective, he wants him like he's really like, I know I shouldn't be doing this, but it feels really good.
Because this comes back to the point where I love that one of Zayden's favorite pastime is literally poking Dane. It's like a
Yes.
constant thing. All he wants to do is poke Dane until he snaps or shows Violet the exact side of his personality that Zayden knows that he's hiding from her.
Yes, absolutely. And even Sigale does go like, "Ooh, this is cruel even for you." And, and he does say to her, it's unfortunate that it hurts her, but she's gonna have to toughen up to survive our partnership, and Atos can't be anywhere around us. And Sigil goes, oh, so we're not discussing that you were already moving when Terran landed. That had he not arrived, you'd be guilty of the very thing the Colonel's offspring accuses you of doing. And I love again how she calls him on his bullshit. And then he says, I moved on instinct to protect. And then she cuts him off and goes, let's not embarrass each other by letting you finish that sentence.
I kind of agree with her because it's once again that idea of okay, we established that you like her. Can we please focus and move on?
Yeah.
But also, I immediately, for some reason, really wanted her to say, it wasn't me that went soft over a cute little thing. I really wanted Sigale to say it back to him because he basically
Yeah.
said the same thing about Antarna.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
Mm.
And, it is, that would, as we saw with Violet's chapter, this whole conversation from her point of view, I mean, it hurts, but it's fun to see this point of view, because like you said, just in the pastime of, I'm gonna poke him. This is so fun. And so this
Yeah,
chapter, from this point of view, is a lot more fun.
I agree. Because from Violet's point of view, it was almost tragic. It's kind of interesting that Violet views and associates her friendship with with Dane as
Zane. Is that a new ship? Do you ship Zayden and Dane now?
I mean, actually, I mean, we're gonna discuss that in the spoiler section of our debrief next week.
Okay. Oh, yes. I know exactly. Yes.
So, when we discuss that next week, I'll have more points to say on that fact. But my answer for now is maybe.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Dying fan.
Yeah.
So what podcast? Like,
It did. It really did. Because if that was going to, that has to be their ship name. Period.
Zane. Absolutely.
Yeah. Why would it not be?
Who else would it be? I get now. Zane. And
What,
apparently you ship
Dayton?
them, so. Dayton?
Because it couldn't be Dayton. That'd be gross. I don't like it. It's gross. So it has to be Zane.
Okay.
With an X, not a Z,
Zane.
obviously.
Yes. But yes, we shall discuss that in our spoiler section of the debrief.
We will.
But so going back to what we were talking about, which is this chapter. And now Violet's upset, and now he's kind of like, oh fuck, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Now I feel bad. And he does feel guilty, and you see his guilt, manifesting with this.
Within the chapter within himself, but I do think that, I mean, Violet even says it in her chapter that she needed to hear that from Dane. Like, she needed to know.
She knew it, but it's
hearing it
different
out
knowing
loud.
and hearing.
I agree.
Hearing that out loud, that would be like a slap in the face.
Yeah, especially coming from somebody that you childishly always liked. Yeah. And that also is like going back to like the difference in how they viewed the chapter, and you saying that this chapter was much more fun from Zayden's perspective. I think it was because he was having a lot more fun during this interaction than she was. Because
Absolutely.
Throughout this entire book, the friendship between Violet and Dane plays out like a tragedy for her. You know what I mean? Like their whole friendship really does play out like a tragedy during this the first book. And I know that breaks Ashley's heart.
What if they're
to
the
see
enemies
them?
To
Don't make me throw up right now. God.
A love triangle between the three of them. But
I don't know if
it
I would
ends
be
up being
opposed to it.
Zane.
I mean, maybe. Maybe maybe we could make that work. We'll write Rebecca and tell her about it and say this needs to happen.
So we're so funny. Oh. And then the reveal of like, oh, you'll be like together, the bond, blah 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 blah, and he starts noticing smaller and smaller things about her, and he's like, fuck, why am I noticing this? Like, what in Doom's name is wrong with me that I'm noticing small little shit like this? And Sigil does go, now look who's getting mushy. And then he snaps back, attracted and mushy aren't the same thing. And I'm already pissed at myself for the first.
I do love that moment between him and Sigil because it kind of goes back to the points that me and Ashley have been saying about we love how much Sigil torments this man.
So good.
Because I also find it interesting because the way that Sigil pokes Xaden is kind of the way that Xaden pokes at Dane.
Oh, absolutely.
It just, Dane doesn't have the balls to poke back.
Yes. And he also, pokes at her in the sense of, and Taryn thinks you'll play bodyguard, little does he know how much you dislike me. And his head, in Xaden's head, oh my god. Sigil says to Xaden, he knows exactly how much you dislike her and how often you stare. And then it cuts him off, and he says, I will volunteer for every cold weather mission in existence if you, she cuts him off, rude, as if your inability to control your own hormones should result in my discomfort. It's one of my favorite, little interactions. Again, I like this chapter purely for those little interactions.
I think that Sigil needs to be more highlighted. I hope that we get to see that later on. Because, I mean, not gonna lie about it, Taryn says a very similarly worded thing to Violet later on in these chapters about it's so hard living with teenagers.
And I also really like how, you could tell even just listening to this podcast between Kaylee and I, if you talk to somebody and hang out with somebody enough, you start picking up their dialogue. And so, I picked up I agree from Kaylee.
I agree. I agree.
And, you've picked up, I think did you get loser from me?
I don't know. We just always called each other loser. I don't know if we picked that up from each other or if we just already had that and we do it to each other now, Yeah,
but anyway, you've picked up words from me, I've picked up words from you, and you hear it in our podcast, and even I've had friends of mine that have seen Kaylee and I together and go, oh, it's like that. I'm like, yeah. It's that bad. We talk that often.
It's not actually a bad thing.
It's not. It just means that we're best friends and love each other and enjoy each other's company. Who would have thought?
I know. And or we just can't shut up. So
yeah, one of the two. It's probably all three. But you can see how Taryn and Sigil's language are similar. Obviously worded differently, tone is different, but their language is similar. And I do like that because I feel like it's hard to write like that. It's hard to write different personalities with the same dialogue. And I think she did it, well.
I do. I think that she did it very well.
Yeah.
As well as, finishing up this chapter after the banter, Violet steps away from Xaden, and Garrick and Xaden are kind of hanging back and watching Violet and Dane, and Garrick is telling Xaden, it's okay, man. like, don't worry about it. And Xaden is
Like,
like,
he won't
he's
fuck her.
taking. Yeah. But Garrick is like, don't worry, he's not gonna fuck her. And Xaden is like, he's unlacing her and touching her in front of everybody.
Yep, like, he's like, why? Well, first he's like, why would I care if? And he's like, I need to stop. Xaden's like, I need to stop. The words die as he starts, like, unlacing her, like you said, and he just gets so tense, and Garrick is like, dude, relax. He's unlacing her, and he's lacing her back up. It's fine. Stop doing that. You're dramatic.
I loved that Garrick was like, you're being over traumatic. Chill. And then the
Literally.
moment Garrick says that,
Dane kisses Violet, and he's like, nothing. And Garrett goes, nothing to see. Oh shit. And Xaden whips around and sees, and in quotes, because this is very important, fire rushes through my veins and shadows spasm around me, distorting my vision for a second. Dane fucking Atos has his mouth on my violence. Not mine. But that doesn't stop this knot in my stomach from unfurling and spreading like acid into my system.
that butterfly feeling.
Yeah. And then I do love how Garrett goes, damn, you all right over there? And openly is like, Garrick asked, laughter lacing his tone, and him and Bodhi just start dying. Like, they just start, I love Garrick. Like, this reread really made me appreciate Garrick a lot more. And I know we didn't see him very much in this first book. And I'm looking forward to the second and third book, because we do see them a bit more. But it really made me appreciate them, because it's just these like, oh man, you good over there? Just making fun of him as Xaden is literally like dying and having to like tie himself down so he doesn't go march over and slap Dane in the face. And you could just see him struggling, and Garrick is just like, you loser.
I also just love the fact that Garrick openly says, damn, I don't think I've ever seen you jealous over anything, but that was really good and we should bring that back. Like, yes. I think we should do this more often, man. That was crazy.
Yep, like, oh, in 20 years, I don't think I've ever seen you jealous. This is amazing.
I do like that Xaden has good enough friends that know him well enough to make fun and poke fun at him and be like, don't be a fucking loser, sir. That's crazy. Like, yes. Chill. And the only thing that gave Xaden a little bit of solace in that moment was when they were done kissing and he's like, damn, I want to smack that little smirk off of Dane's face. And then he's like, Violet just looked like she kissed her cousin and wants to get the hell away from him. That was the best feeling I've ever seen.
It's like, talk, and it literally says, talk about awkward.
But even in that moment, from Violet's perspective, it was.
Yes, but I also, like, I know we talked about it in that episode, but, like, when she openly, when she's like, oh, like, I wanted the sparks, and I wanted the butterflies, and there was nothing. So it is really fun to see both perspectives of Xaden literally dying, and Violet kind of coming to terms with, I don't like him like that. Like, this isn't what I want. Exactly. But I do love the, wow, she looks like she just accidentally kissed her cousin. That's awkward, man. And then you just have Garrick die. What a great scene.
And that was the other thing, is I think that the reason why we, well, I guess I shouldn't speak for you. What I specifically had more fun reading this chapter from his perspective is because we got to see Xaden controlled on the outside, but be himself, and to know that he does have feelings, because in a lot of the book, Violet does paint Xaden to be this unfeeling, cold individual. And is constantly pleading for Xaden to show her intimacy, to give her that spark, to, you know, uh, like her and love her more physically than emotionally in a lot of those terms. And he's like, but I have been loving you emotionally more than I have
And
been
you really do
physically.
see it in these chapters.
I absolutely fucking love it. I'm so sorry.
Got so emotional over it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I just had like a little like girly scream because not gonna lie, like, I mean, I've already said it, but I understand where this man is coming from, especially in terms of is this A going to ruin my life? Is this B convenient for me now at this point? And that's why I like them, and that's why I'm like pushing all of like these feelings? Or like, see, is it real for me? And that's actually why I'm feeling those things? Or am I romanticizing this person? Or do I just feel like this actual palpable thing that's real, that could be real between us? And I think I'll go into it and after. We're going to start in the next chapter if you're done talking about chapter 16, Ashley.
Yes, I did want to really quickly circle back to chapter 9 because we were talking about Garrick and, after the sparring mat incident, because Zayden walks off with Imogen and Garrick. And Garrick goes, "You in the mood to spar with first years or just that first year?" And
love it.
Zayden's like, "I hate how observant you are sometimes." And then Garrick's like, "Well, it's hard to miss with the way you look at her." And Zayden's still dumb. And is like, "Oh, like I want to kill her." And what's his face? Garrick is like, "Or fuck," like about to say fuck her. And then he's like, "Oh, don't finish that sentence when I'm in the mood to hit people." And then I'm so sorry, I needed to bring it back because of this. It's so good. And and Garrett goes, "Oh, would you please? I need you to use those big, strong hands to show me." And then Zayden, like, shoves him. But I just, again, going back to that, I love their friendship and just how he really could be like, "Oh, I need you to give me those big, strong hands and show me what I need." Like, sir, stop.
I love it. And I think like that's the part of their friendship that you really do miss from Violet's perspective. Is you really do miss what a real person Zayden is.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's only told from Violet's side. And here you do get to see how much inner turmoil that Zayden has been living with for the past year and a half because of this woman. Like,
it's so funny. I'm so here for it.
You do get to see it.
So now we're going into chapter 27 because that's where we're heading. Wow, shocking, I know.
Crazy. But chapter 27 is when we see Mira and they are at Montserrat in the... What room was that called? Because they don't call it the battle brief.
Yeah.
It's not battle brief room. It's the...
No, but it's like a meeting room.
Do they just call it the briefing room?
Yes, that's it.
Sure, whatever.
That's what we're going to call it. Fine. Oh, look. Jesus Christ.
I mean, I just didn't know if Dane was going to pop up anywhere and be like, "Well, actually, Kaylee."
Well, Dane is not going to pop up right now, but the first sentence of chapter 27, Zayden's perspective, is Dane Atos is dancing on my last fucking nerve.
Valid, sir. Very fucking valid, because I kind of agree with you, Zayden. I know Ashley does not, but I agree with you, Zayden. He's just trying to
protect her.
If you fucking say that one more time, I'm gonna, like, lunge through this train like screen and strangle you. It's
He's
gross.
just trying to protect her.
It's gross. It's gross. You're gonna make me throw up. Disgusting.
Blech.
No, sorry. It's more like this. Like that.
Much better.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, continue. You were getting on a roll there, and I kind of cut you off.
Oh, no. I just love that. I love that Xaden does not like Dane, and that Dane really does get on his nerves because he's like, I want to slam his head into this table right now, but the only reason why I'm controlling myself is because I know that Violence wouldn't like it.
So then, doing the battle brief type thing, like Kaylee said, and it's fun to see it from their perspective, from Xaden's perspective, because you could feel, like Mira says, the tension between Violet and Dane so thickly, and he's just like, wow, this is kind of a lot, man. And, you know, this is the first time that Xaden talks to her through the bond. Mm-hmm. And, oh, it's so good.
I love the way that he describes her bond in his head as the silver. I want to say like, yeah, but like I want to add like an LE to that, but I can't say that.
Silver?
I don't even know. Early. No, I don't know. But regardless, I like that.
Did you just hit your hand on your mic?
I did. I like the way that Xaden describes it as silver, because I wonder if that's also why Taryn calls her Silver One. Because he also sees her bond as a silver strand as well.
Yeah. How interesting. And it's interesting that I like how, like, the bonds are different colors. Like, Taryn is black and Darna's gold. Sigale is blue. Xaden
I thought
is onyx.
Well, Zanuck, yeah, but isn't onyx and black the same color?
Oh yeah, you're right. So what color is Taryn? Like a gray?
I don't know. I actually don't know if they've ever described the color of Taryn's bond, because when she first started shielding, it was just this overwhelming emotion that she was shutting out.
Yeah. How interesting. Anyway.
We'll circle back to that.
We'll circle back. We have brain cells. It's okay. And, so then she says, don't be a dick. And he, in her head, goes, you haven't even seen me start to be a dick. And she whips to him, and I do like that it worked. My heart stumbles and I bite back a laugh. I was wrong. This isn't just fun. This is instantly vital to my existence.
I love that any type of intimate little connection he can have with her is vital to his existence. Like training her was vital to his existence.
Mm-hmm.
Her looking at him a certain way is very vital to his existence. Like the only reason why he doesn't beat Dane up is because he knows that she would not like that.
Yeah. And, Dane chokes out the word saying, you're the wing leader. And, Xaden does go like, oh, I can't help but wonder if he's submitting to my rank or accusing me of inappropriate behavior with a subordinate. And he goes, not that I give a fuck either way. If it were safe for Violet, I'd be guilty of inappropriate behavior. Wickedly inappropriate. In my bed, in hers, on the table of the archives, in the bathing chamber, in every room with a door to lock so no one else can see what's mine.
It's kind of interesting because they don't actually fuck until the next chapter, right? Until in chapter
No, it's not like
27?
a couple chapters from now. Like it's in the 30s.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's chapter 30 and 32.
I just think that it is funny that that's happening now because that means that they've only kissed once.
Yeah. Yep.
And listen, I know that I was giving Violet a really hard time about like after they slept together only once. But now I feel like I should be giving Xaden a little bit of a hard time right now because you only kissed this bitch once, sir. Like, it's okay. You should like stifle that down just a little bit because you don't want to seem overly anxious ever.
You know, but he does say, but though she'd be the best thing that's ever happened to me, I'm the worst thing to happen to her.
And there goes like that self-loathing and the self-sabotage that you see a lot within this chapter as Xaden wrestles through these feelings because he says it multiple times almost that she is the best thing and I want her and I need her, but she could never want me and she could never need me because I'm the worst thing that has ever happened to her.
Mm-hmm.
And I find it really interesting because first of all, he needs to go to fucking therapy and get over that shit.
Yes.
But I find it interesting that he really does villainize and demonize himself, even at this point in the book, that Xaden's self-loathing is such a big factor. And I think that's a big factor of why he's always attempted to push himself away from her. Because chapter 9 and chapter 16, he very much said that he is the worst thing for Violet in different ways, multiple times through those chapters as well. And I think that if he would work on that, that would be better for their overall relationship.
Yes, I agree. I agree. And yes. And it's like you see his like self-loathing in every single one of his chapters in the Xaden chapter that we get at the end of the book, and then plus these 3 bonus chapters. Like it's in every single one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
it's
it weighs
very much a it's very much a oh no, like I'm the worst thing to happen to her. Like that's all it like she's the best thing that I've ever had. I'm not, but I'm the worst to happen to her. It's the same thing.
Mm-hmm. It's very much a large focal point of his personality and growth as we see him in this first book.
Mm-hmm.
I also find it really interesting because now that we talked about it since we actually ended the book, maybe he kept saying that to himself to have to have an scapegoat so that she probably wouldn't have gotten so mad at him when he didn't tell her the truth.
Absolutely.
And that it's like I do think that him having so much self-loathing is self-sabotaging their relationship, and you saw it by the end of the book when she was upset. And yes, she didn't know that she was unknowingly betraying Xaden, which is I'm not going to get into that discussion again, but I still have a lot of feelings about it.
You can get into it in the debrief.
But I think that it's interesting how self-loathing is a big thing that is a part of his fear-driven side.
Yeah.
where Violet's a key trait of her personality and that fuels her fear-driven side is, what if I'm too weak? What if I'm too fragile? What if everything that everybody has always said my entire life is actually true? And we do see her break out of that fear cycle slightly more towards the end of this book, but we'll see where that goes as the series progresses.
Yeah. I agree. But it is, oh, you made a point and I had a point to your point. And I forget what my point was.
Was it about their characters?
I don't remember.
Or was it about Xaden is using the self-hatred as an scapegoat?
I really don't remember.
Or like,
if I
of
think
like
of it,
being
I'll
the
come
reason
back.
why. Okay.
We'll come back. We'll come back if I remember. I have one brain cell and I gave it to you.
I know. Now I have all the brain cells. Mwahahaha!
The one that shares between us.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Maybe
Yes.
2 if we're having a good day. What?
That's crazy. I didn't know
2
that
brain
2 could
cells?
exist. That's
No.
actually crazy. I don't know.
So then, as we continue through the chapter, Dane is like, oh, like, why are you here? So then, they're explaining the mating bond, and as we've heard, like, oh, you can't make it more than 3 days, and things like that. And 3 days? You couldn't make it 3 days? And Sigale goes, yeah, why are you here? And then Xaden goes, oh, well, it was your idea to bring the daggers. And then it seemed a prudent course of action considering your insufferable intolerance to being separated from the general's daughter.
But I also love what the thoughts that plague his mind.
Oh, I know, because it goes on to he goes, insufferable, that's a bit far. And then Sigil goes, where's Violet now? What is she doing? Is she thinking of me? Is she missing me? Is she getting closer to Atos? Does she dream about that kiss? How many days until Violet's... And then Xander's just point fucking taken.
I love it.
It's so good. I love the mocking.
It's so good. And there's another part that I think happens later down in the chapter that Xaden says to Sigale in terms of him needing to be by Violet. It's when he says, like, you're right, but also I didn't come here to listen to you and Taryn, like, guffaw over my feelings almost. Like,
oh, yes,
to hear
yes.
them, like, to hear you guys, like, like, to hear you consorting with your mate about my feelings. I loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was so good.
Oh, it's so good. And again, just seeing the interactions between Xaden and Sigale are so good. And she, is still defending him. And like we said earlier, like he's never had someone defend him like that. Like, yes, he has Garrick and Bodhi, but there's a difference. There's a difference in the dynamic. And
I also
he's
think
never
that
had someone that's not a marked one defend him.
Yes, thank you.
And so
I was gonna bring up that point. I was like, I think it's a race thing, not
yes,
like not technically that the marked ones are a different race per se, but the racism points that we were talking about earlier in the books.
Yes, and so he's very confused. He's like, oh, like, and this, especially like General Sorengale's daughter, he did not expect it at all. And I think that's where a lot of his self-loathing came from, is because the entire world sees him as a villain.
Yeah.
Except for the
And
marked ones.
even Mira does,
Mm-hmm.
because of the way that she looked at him during the battle brief time, and the fact that Violet gave her a look, and he was like, I don't know how to traverse the sibling dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
I just know that it was fucking hot that she did that.
Yes.
It was hot.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
I do think that even though he's like, "Oh wow, like that was so hot, blah blah blah." I think he's finding a lot of comfort in that place. I think he's finding a lot of comfort and a little bit more like security almost
Mm-hmm.
in his feelings a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah. And it is also very interesting, like you said, like he doesn't know the sibling dynamic, and it just kind of shows again, like, what I mean, there's a lot of people that don't have siblings and they're only child, like they're an only child, but it's
Mhm.
shows like, oh, he didn't, not that he didn't grow up with friends and he didn't grow up with stuff like that, but he never had that secure family and like family friends that a lot of people have instead of siblings or
Mhm.
something. And so he just never understood that type of dynamic that you could technically have with friends, but like he never had siblings.
Yeah.
So again, showing that he did not have a good family. Obviously, his family literally fucking died. But but you know what I mean. And they having that conversation between Mira and Violet, the where Violet's like,
Silently. Oh, I was going to say Violet having the interaction with Mira very silently, I think solidified in his mind what, like, almost like how far Violet would go to, like, for what is right and what she believes.
mm-hmm,
As well as I thought it was really interesting that, as Xaden and Dane are arguing in front of everybody about who's in charge, I find it quite interesting that Xaden refers to Riddick as a like like as something else, but he does not refer to Riddick as Riddick. I don't know if he knew that it was Riddick saying, "Well, do you want to just whip it out?"
mm-mm-mm-mm.
In the lines, it's very interesting because he just says, "Oh, somebody down at the end of the table said it."
Was it not Riddick then?
That was the thing, is I thought in Violet's chapter it said that Riddick said that. But in this chapter it says like the lieutenant down at the end, or like the soldier down at the end, or the writer down at the end, or something.
Well, I
Because
guess it wasn't Riddick
not
then.
only that, is I did not realize that Riddick's last name is Gamley.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that we were also pulling from Lord of the Rings names. I had no idea that perspective changed. No idea that that was his last name. And like Rhiannon's last name, no idea that that was her last name, but I'm assuming that that's
No.
who he was referring to as.
Yeah, no, as soon as I looked, like, as soon as, like, those happened, I literally had to look it up. I was like, who are we talking about? I am confused.
Because I've never heard their last names ever. But I think
No.
maybe it makes sense why he refers to them as their last name, because they're underneath him.
Mm-hmm.
And why would he be on a first name basis with these people that are like not in his grade or like not in his class,
Yeah. But it's also really interesting is if you notice, did you notice that he's starting to call her Violet instead of Sorgale?
Mm-hmm. I did.
Like in his head.
Mm-hmm.
But so now the Griffins are there and now they're getting attacked. And now he wanted to stay. And
Mm-hmm.
Sigale does tell him, like, if you stay, she's gonna stay. You need to go too.
Yeah, and then right before that, we kind of get in the conversation when Mira pulls Dane, Xaden, and Violet out of the room, and she makes the sword, like the sound shield in the hallway right before that happens. And he is pleading with her almost. There's a very interesting moment when Mira says, "Do you know why he hates our mother so much?" And his first
Mm-hmm.
rebuttal was, she's not, she is not ready to hear that. And that's why he's like, well, I'm here. That's
Mm-hmm.
why he
Because his
started
first thought
going
is, oh
so
fuck, she's not
hard.
ready for this.
Mm-hmm. Is he was like, I cannot have her fucking sister tell her about this in this type of way, because what if it's spun in a way that she doesn't understand what's
Yeah.
happening anymore? But I like the fact that he really tries to drive home the point that he is there and he was the one that left because of his overwhelming feelings basically for her.
Yeah.
And he does ask Sigale where they're at because he wants to know if he actually has enough time to get his pack because of what's inside of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And because, at the end of book 1, we figure out about, the whole revolution and the whole thing, and
Mm-hmm.
Brennan's alive and all of these things. And so with these, you actually kind of get to see the inner workings of it, which is kind of fun. Like, oh, like they talk about, oh, like we brought the daggers. Like, is
Mm-hmm.
Imogen back yet? So it's really
Yeah,
fun to kind of see the inner workings that we didn't get to see because obviously Violet didn't know about it at
exactly.
this point. So it's fun to kind of see those inner workings of the flying out and giving the daggers
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and like doing the things that they said they were doing. And
Yeah.
I really did enjoy that. We got to see these.
Mm-hmm.
And I also do really like how, like you were saying, like he's like, oh, like, no, I'm here. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm here. Violet didn't come to me, I went to her. And, that's when Mira's like, what happens when you're a brand new lieutenant? And then he goes, yeah, fuck if I know. At this rate, they'll have to station me at Pasgaiath if I can't get my shit under control and get over. And Sigil goes, love isn't something you get over. Why do you think I flew you all the way out here?
No, stop it. I love it. Me. Stop it, Sigale. I love you.
I love
I
her so
like
much.
that she does say very hard-hitting things to Xaden to be like, this isn't fickle. This isn't like a little thing. Why do you think we're here?
Mm-hmm.
And I also think that that's when the moment that he was like, you better not tell Taryn, or like stop,
Yeah,
like,
he goes, why do you think you flew all the way out here? And he says, to mock me while cavorting?
yeah, cavorting.
Thank you. Cavorting with your mate. And then she goes, well, I didn't say it wasn't without perks.
I loved that. I also liked how you actually got to see it in the Mira Xaden interaction, how many times he was like, maybe I could just kill her. Maybe she's
Yeah,
not
literally.
good. Let's kill her. And then he actually says it. Well, I don't think Violet would like it, and I wouldn't want to have to face down her, let alone the oldest Sorengale. Like
Yeah.
he does mention Brennan without mentioning Brennan in a way, which is
Mm-hmm.
so interesting to like hear that. And then when he's getting the pack from his room and Liam is getting his pack from the same room, And Liam, like, kind of corners him and says, was this us? Was
Yeah.
this us? And Xaden has to take charge and say, it wasn't us. And Liam, like, doubles down and is like, I think that it's us, blah, blah, blah. And Xaden really does shut that shit down and said, it wasn't us. We would never put civilians at risk. There must be somebody else inside.
Mm-hmm.
And that somebody else is, who knows, because the fact that Xaden openly said that whoever is doing this and is coming from the inside would kill Violet in a heartbeat. That Violet needs to get
Yeah.
out for her own safety because they wouldn't bat an eye.
Yeah. But I'm really curious on who is it?
I'm also very curious to know because I want to know. Obviously, like, there's different factions of Griffins, like Griffin Riders and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. So is it a Griffin Rider? Is it somebody else? Is it...
Yeah, I'm curious. I want to know. I agree. I want to know so bad. And
I
he,
also liked that, obviously before they actually leave, Mira says, for me to be able to trust you, you need to make sure that she is safe and then make sure she keeps her seat.
yeah, and he gets her a saddle.
Thank you, Ashley. I was like, come on, are you gonna do it?
He gets her a saddle.
Mm-hmm. And the fact that he gets her a saddle before War Games too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You okay over there?
Yes, I am fine.
You sure?
And as they're going up, I like that. I like the reason why he really wanted Dane to go first and to have everybody off that, I don't know.
Roof.
I was gonna say turret, but yeah, sure, roof. Yeah, roof's fine. I guess. That he wanted to preserve Violet's dignity because he knew that that she was not going to like the way that Taryn needed to get her.
Yeah, because they're like, Taryn is openly talking with him, saying, like, I'm gonna have to scoop her up. It's not gonna be dignified. And then he goes, she's not gonna love that. And so he does want everybody to clear. He's like, I don't want people to see it.
Yeah, and then you kind of see it, like, after people clear, that's when he's like, I think she's gonna bolt. Like, I think she's doing this, and like, and Sigale pleads with him. This is also another reason why, when Ashley was like, it's so toxic of him to kiss her because he, like, did it to manipulate her and blah, blah, blah. Sigale, I need to push that mic away for a second because I'm going to get a little loud. Sigale fucking pleads with him. Pleads with him to make sure that that she goes. She says, do whatever you need to fucking do to make sure that he goes.
That is true.
And I think that it was, like, selfish on Sigale to ask him to do that. But I think the reason why Sigale is like, hey, you need to make sure she goes. Sorry, I was going to say something there that was a little spoily. But I think another reason why she, like, tells him to make her go is so that Taryn does not have to suffer another tragic loss of a rider.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so I think that it is unfair of you, Ashley, to say that it is like this manipulative thing that he came up like on his own, because no, he did not. He did not come up with it on his own, I think.
From Violet's point of view?
You know what? Fuck her point of view, because he has been giving her...
I like Xaden's point of view.
No, because
he's trying to... Like, he wants to save her.
He is giving her...
You are so upset about this.
It's because I feel like the way that he is viewing her is very different than the way she views him. And I think that the reason why you're like, oh, I'd be so mad if my partner manipulated me like that. Yeah, first of all, you should be. Number one, I'm not saying that it's a good thing. I'm saying that if Violet would have looked fucking hard enough in their relationship, she would see that he has been building intimacy with her for so long that he wasn't just using that as a force.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't using it to purely manipulate her, because he openly said in this chat... Sorry, I need to calm down a bit. I feel like that moment. I'm an adult. I need to be calm. I'm an adult.
I need to calm down.
Yeah, I need to calm down. But Zane openly says that, what if this is the last time? What if this is the last time that I'm ever going to see her, if I'm ever going to touch her, if I'm ever going to be able to kiss her, and I still need to stay focused, which is why I'm not letting my hands roam. But also at the same time, I want to keep her forever. And so, yes, it is inherently selfish. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be like upset or call him manipulative, because he is, but I also just want to like defend him a little bit more, because he also, well, actually, he also wants to keep her safe. So if you can excuse all of Dane's shitty behavior, then I'm going to excuse this one for Xaden, for sure. Especially because this is the first time that I'm actually like openly defending Xaden about him being manipulative. This is the first instance that I'm doing it.
Good for you.
That's all I gotta say, Ashley. And you and your little Dane boy can go sit in the corner. Go sit in the corner. God.
Amazing. Yes. And like you said, like, he openly is like, oh, like, she's not going to leave on her own accord. And you could tell, like, he could see it in her eyes. There's a tenseness. And he drops his shield, and her emotion hurtles down the bond, and it's determination and fear. And he just, like, a sentence of, she's going to bolt. Wow. She's going to bolt. He knew she was going to bolt. And I do like how he does say, like you said, and he's like, there's only one way I could stop her. You know? Like, do what, like, and Sigale's like, do what you can. It's like, there's only one way, I know what I can do. And I do like how he says, like, I cup the back of her neck, preparing to commit what she'll think is an unforgivable sin.
Because, like I said, if she was actually looking for the intimate moments that he was really providing her, she wouldn't think that that was a manipulation tactic.
Yeah.
First of all, yes, it is. I'm not gonna like not say that it is, because it is. I'm not gonna say that it isn't. But also, listen, girly pop, this is the line. This is the line that I was like, oh, Sigale says this, and I think that it is the one of like the best things that Sigale says. And Ashley's gonna talk while I find this thing.
Oh, okay. And, you know, he kisses her. And I do kind of like how he says, like, it's wild and desperate, and the way, like, she opens for me, kissing me back, nearly takes me out at the knees. Gods, I'll never get enough of this woman, her mind, her tenacity, and her mouth. And, you know,
I found the
he's
line.
like, I kiss her like this might be the last time she'll let me. Like, this is an alternate reality that there's a chance she could love me back. I kiss her like she's mine.
Mm-hmm. And then even after that, he goes on and is like, oh, I don't know, like, if she'll ever forgive me. And Sigale's
Mhm.
rebuttal is, well, you better make sure her sister's alive.
Yeah.
You better
Like,
make
oh,
sure
like,
that it turns out
yeah,
okay.
because he, you know, she says, she realizes and goes, fuck you. And then he, you know, just, I could just feel it. Like, there's such defeat as, she'll never forgive me. Like, I feel the defeat in his, like, as he tells
Mm-hmm.
Sigale, especially if something happens to her sister. And Sigale does, she can't forgive you for the least of your transgressions. If she can't forgive you for the least of your transgressions, then she doesn't deserve you.
That's
And
that's the
then,
line. I'm so
oh, it
sorry.
is?
We need a pause. Pause for a second.
Pause.
Not actually
Is that the
pause,
line?
pause. Yes, that is the line. Not actually like pause, but like
Pause.
could
Yes,
we like pause and take a breath and sit with this line for a second? Because I will read I need to calm
Yes,
down a
read
little
it.
bit.
Read it.
Because I will read it to you, Ashley. And this is why I 110% back Sigale and somewhat Xaden.
Okay.
Because first of all, this is the type of love that Xaden deserves. Period. If she cannot forgive you for the least of your transgressions, then she does not deserve you. So what Sigale is saying right there in that line is you hate yourself so much that you cannot forgive yourself for these small little things. And if she can't see what I see in you, then she doesn't deserve you. She doesn't deserve this. She doesn't deserve the amount of energy and effort that you're putting into building small instance of intimacy and using you like a fucking object. It's okay. Okay. It's okay. Okay. It's fine. But yes, that line, and also just pop off, Sigale, because Taryn says a lot of things to Violet about her being more self-confident, about her not believing that she is the smallest person in the room, about how she is so smart, and it constantly is reassuring her about her biggest fear.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that we get to see Sigale reassure him about his biggest fear.
Yeah. And his biggest fear is that she won't love him because he wants love. Even if he can't admit it.
Yeah, he can't, but that's okay. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. He's getting there.
Yeah, he's getting there. And so, you know, it's fine. I love that line because in all actuality, yeah, I agree with Sigale.
Yeah.
But I also agree with Sigale just like outside of the book. Like, if your partner or the potential partner that you're seeking cannot forgive you for a big thing or a little thing, or you guys can't work it out, or it's just like not going the way that you'd hoped after like a very specific instance, that's not your fucking person and you need to leave. Like,
yes, I agree.
End of the
and
story.
This happens so often.
I know.
Like, there's so many people that just kind of get stuck with someone, you know, that they like love, but if you can't get past the little things or big things, like if you can't get past the little things, how are you going to get past the big things?
Exactly. And hence why Kaylee's single. It's fine. Anyway, I'm so sorry. I just had a. I agree with you, Ashley, because that's why Kaylee is single. Because until she finds somebody to love her like Sigale can love Xaden, it's not gonna work out.
I agree. And it's just a lot of people don't realize that all those little things are going to add up. It might take years, but eventually you're going to come to a breaking point.
Absolutely, which is why me saying that one of his biggest flaws is his self-hatred that is preventing him from communicating properly with Violet. That is it. That is why I do think that he needs to get over that fact and get over the fact that he can believe that he is unlovable till the end of time.
Yeah.
But until he accepts that she is capable of loving him, I don't think that either party is going to get the love that they want or deserve.
I agree. And that is a great way to end this episode. Look at that. We went on a great tangent. That was great. Great way to end it. Look at us.
I know. Make sure to like, subscribe, do the smashy button thing.
And I did want to say that next episode is going to be a debrief of this entire book. We're going to talk about our feelings on everything. Spoilers for the entire first book. But also that'll be the first half. And the second half is going to be talking about how this book goes into the series. So it'll be the first half spoilers, spoiler free for the first, except for the first book. But then the second half of the episode will be spoilers for the entire series. So
yes, so
we're very excited.
Have spoilers for the second and third book a part of that. So just to make it very clear. Kaylee's very excited.
I'm so excited. We're going to talk about so many theories, and that's how we're going to be doing Iron Flame as well. So we're really excited because we're going to do we're changing up our rhythm. We wanted to see, we did our first book. We're very excited. We're very proud of ourselves. But we want to see how this new format that we have in mind, where it's the first hour is, the review and kind of talking about the book for the people that are reading along with us. And then the second half is spoilers for the entire series, how these set of chapters impact the entire series. Because like we have said throughout this entire, especially like the end, and especially how we're going to talk next week, there are so many foreshadowing things that we want to talk about and have been really biting our tongues about for these theories that we know, and these theories that we were like, oh my gosh, we just can't mention it. And so we're really excited to be able to talk about how those set of chapters impact the entire series. Exactly. But we also want to keep the spoiler free for people that are reading along, because we also do enjoy talking about it like that as well.
Exactly. But I'm really excited for everybody to come along with us as we change our formatting.
We're really, really excited that we get to do this, and we hope that you guys are as excited as we are, because there are so many things that we want to talk about.
And if you have any questions or concerns, drop a comment down below and we'll do our best to answer anything, especially around the new formatting, because it's going to have spoilers in it. As well as if you like the new formatting, please let us know that you like the new formatting or you want us to change our formatting anymore, because we do love hearing from you guys as well.
We do, and every time we'll say, before we get into the spoilers, we will say, we are heading into the spoiler section, be warned. So
it will
don't worry
be
about
stated.
That. Yes, but yes, next episode we're going to be talking about the entire first book, our initial thoughts, and then our thoughts about the reread, and then going into spoilers, how it impacts the entire series. So we're excited.
Very, very excited. And so the last thing that we have to say is,
what did the void say to you?